Today I'm going to share everything I'm planning to sew for my wardrobe this summer. We'll go through my whole design process together step by step, including deciding on a style and theme for the season, looking at what I actually need and I'm actually going to wear, and all the fabric and patterns that I plan to use. Not only that, but I'll share some free resources that you can use to do the same thing for this season. I'll share more about Design Your Wardrobe, but it's also linked below. I use this process every single season to design what I want to sew, so if you want to check out a past season, we'll link those for you too. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I did was print out my planner and put it in a binder. I'm using the free Seamwork wardrobe planner, which is what we use together in the Design Your Wardrobe program that we run every single season. But you can also get this planner on its own for free if you want, and I'll link that below for you. You can also join us for a season of Design Your Wardrobe, which is really fun because literally thousands of other sewists design their wardrobes together, and it sparks so many great ideas and conversations as you go through the process together. Next, it's time to clear off my cork board with all my projects from spring and start building my mood board for summer. Last season, I had a really restrained color palette of mostly white, black, cream, and blue. And I've decided to take that a step further this season and have a really restrained palette, but we're gonna get to that soon. Now it's time to start planning. I always begin by looking through images I've saved on Pinterest. I start collecting them into a new board for the season, just adding whatever's inspiring to me. I also like to go through my own patterns and fabric at this point. I'm just looking for inspiration, and I think it's good to have a combination of digital and analog. I also like to use what I already have as much as possible, and sometimes just looking through my stash gives me a lot of new ideas. This season, I noticed that I'd collected a lot of dresses in white and cream with a lot of interesting heirloom type details. I've always been really interested in the techniques of heirloom sewing, so maybe this is my chance to explore that a little more than usual. I also noticed some bright red, especially in the form of accessories, which is interesting just for that splash of color. Now it's time to start working through my planner. This really helps me to process all my thoughts and feelings at this point and start the foundations of a plan. I begin with my goal. My goal for this season is really simple. It's just to make some beautiful summer dresses. The reason this is important to me is twofold. First, I've always really loved to wear dresses in the color white in summer, so I want to really lean into what I love to wear. Second, I want to explore some heirloom sewing techniques this season, like lace insertions, tucks, and other sort of Victorian-inspired details, and I think this will be the perfect opportunity. The words I chose are romantic, soft, and ethereal. I decided to name my collection Summer of White. Giving the collection of designs a name really helps me to visualize my goal and keep it in mind as I create and make decisions in the coming months. This summer, I'm going to really focus on just a few elements in my sewing and really go deep on those. Now let's talk about context. This is where I decide what parts of my life I'm designing the collection of clothing for. It's a chance to get practical and think about the actual activities I'll be doing in these clothes I'm making, which pays off later because I actually end up wearing them a lot more. The contexts I chose are socializing outdoors, at home, and walks and picnics. For socializing outdoors, I'm imagining having dinner with friends on my deck or just hanging out outside somewhere. For that, I'll need clothes that'll keep me cool, that are layerable for cooler nights, and that feel pretty and summery. When I'm at home, comfort is key. I need clothing that feels light and is just easy to throw on. Finally, there are the activities that involve walking, like my daily dog walk, going to the farmer's market on the weekends, or checking out a flea market. I can definitely wear dresses to do that, but I need to be able to wear comfortable shoes with them like my Birkenstocks, which I pretty much live in all summer. Now that I have this foundation in place, it's time to have fun building a new mood board for the season. I really like to work analog and have my mood board on the wall so I can see it and refer back to it throughout the season. Some people prefer a digital one. This is just my own preference. The first thing I do is start to edit that Pinterest board. I go through and pull out any themes and see what I notice. For this season, I mentioned that I noticed heirloom details, the color white, and red accessories. I also noticed a lot of longer tiered skirts mixed in with shorter and simpler shapes. There's also a mix of loose and fitted shapes. This tells me that I might want to play with a variety of silhouettes and details, but keep my fabric and color choices more limited. I'm planning to look through my heirloom sewing books for more details and ideas throughout the season. This also really helps me to edit around those themes that I noticed. Editing can be a real challenge, so if that's something you struggle with, you might check out the Seamwork Radio podcast, where we have a couple episodes all about editing with some really good tips from me and Haley. Once I've edited things down, I print and cut out images from my mood board and start pinning them up. I make decisions as I go about what to include to build the mood I'm trying to achieve. I really like the romantic details here, but it still feels wearable and modern to me. Now it's time to build out the palette for the season. To do this, we use actual swatches of fabric. I don't always have all the fabric I'm planning to use, of course, so I often just pull something similar to start and then replace it later when I have my final fabric. You could also use color swatches, paint chips, or even print images of the fabric you want to get later. I always start by looking through my stash. I pull out the fabrics I think I might use and often refer back to my inspiration and the themes that I've noticed. For this collection, I pulled out my white linen, lots of different eyelet fabrics I already have, and some white silk. I have so much eyelet already, it's getting me thinking about how I might mix and match them together into garments. I like to stack up all my fabrics for the season where I can see them and access them quickly for sewing later. Now it's time to sketch. I start by sketching out some of the outfits I want to create. I like to think about both the general types of garments I want to make, but also the clothing I already own and how I might wear it. It's fun to incorporate garments I sewed the previous season sometimes too. I like to sketch this digitally, but you can also do it on paper with the Croquis that comes with the free planner. And if you're interested in sketching digitally, I have a video on how I do this with Procreate and an Apple Pencil, so I'll link that for you below. Once I've sketched them, I print them 4 to a page. Normally, I'd go through each outfit with you before we talk about the projects, but honestly, these are dresses and it's summer, so the dress really is the whole outfit in most of these cases. Instead, I'm going to skip right to the projects, then talk a little about how I plan to style each of them. First, I really want to make a romper this season. I have a breezy vintage floral romper that I absolutely love to wear when it's hot, so I know this is something I'll throw on often. I'm planning to make the Seamwork carry, which is this loose, swingy shape and these really cute ties at the shoulder. I'll keep this one simple and wear it with comfortable flat shoes like Mary Jane's. Next is a more fitted dress with a corset style bodice, the Seamwork Emma dress. I just love the simplicity of this shape. I haven't decided, but I might extend the hemline and make it a bit longer for a little extra drama. I'm planning to make it in a crisp cotton. I'd wear this dress with red clog sandals and big sunglasses. Next is a loose-fitting smock dress. I think a dress like this will be the perfect opportunity to play with some special details, like lace insertion in the seams, some pretty pin tucks, or maybe some embroidered fabric on the yoke. There's just a lot of opportunities here. I'd wear this one with flat shoes again, like some colorful Mary Jane's. Next up is an empire waist dress. This is another tried and true shape for me. I have a navy blue seersucker dress that I made many years ago in this style, and I love to wear it in the summer. I'm using the Seamwork Leanne, and I'm planning to add a gathered tier at the bottom. This is one where I'm going to play with interesting fabrics and try adding some fun details, like lace at that bottom tier. I'd wear this with red sandals or any other comfortable shoe I have. Finally, I want to make a simple slip dress, another tried and true shape for me. I absolutely love slip dresses, and I have a couple of simple self-drafted ones that I've made over the years. One is pink silk, and I wear it a lot, so I'm thinking of doing this one in white. One way I like to wear slip dresses is with a button-up shirt over the top. It could be a crisp white button-up or a chambray shirt. It just dresses it down a little, but it also protects my skin from the sun. You can see that I added a lot of red accessories, like red sunglasses and red shoes. Those are things I already own that I think can make things feel a little more cheerful and lively when I'm in the mood. Now I'm going to add these onto my physical mood board. I also like to add a few swatches of fabric or trim or anything else that creates texture and makes me feel inspired to create. This is why I like to have a physical mood board. I'll add to it over time as I pick up fabric or trims that I want to use too. And here's my finished mood board with my sewing cue all pinned up. I can't wait to sew these projects with you this summer, so stay tuned if you want to see these projects come to life. So have you started thinking about what you're going to make this summer? Let me know in the comments one project you're really excited about tackling in the next few months. I just love having a process to turn to each season. It helps me get unstuck and make better creative decisions, so I don't waste time sewing things that aren't really me or that I'll never wear. If you want to try a process like this for yourself, you can download the free planner that I used today, and that's linked below. If you really want to dig in and create things that you want to wear, be sure to check out our Design Your Wardrobe program. The next session is starting very soon. Design Your Wardrobe walks you through this whole process step by step, and it's totally free for Seamwork members to do every season together. If you're interested, you can pick up a Seamwork membership for half off as a YouTube subscriber. Just follow the link below to learn more and sign up. I'm so excited to get sewing with you here on the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.